Hello. I also like to mention about why Right-Haven is getting rid of our freedom of speech. Now, just so you know, if you've ever heard the story that Right-Haven is suing a reporter for using his own content, his own research material on his blog, you begin to look at my copyright case, and that's one of the reasons why I'm glad I published the court docket. I don't care if they threaten me ever publishing the court docket, because people need to know what's going on. They can look up the copyright number. They'll find out that even if the photo, which they say is property of the Denver Post, it does not say the Denver Post in the copyrights. It says Media News Group Incorporated. So it's high-ups. It's an employer for hire. It sounds almost like some high-up job has decided to get the credit for his photo. They'll mention his name on the Denver Post, but they will not mention it in the Copyright Office, which I think is kind of suspicious. I think they're supposed to put who originally took the photo, that he gave up his rights, but they found a loophole, and that loophole was that corporations are to be declared as people. So in other words, corporations are now considered people, which means corporations can get the copyright for anything. You don't have to put the original copyright owner. If anyone works for a corporation, they may take your content. They can actually copyright your content. So if you work for McDonald's, they could steal copyrights for what you have. Isn't that great? So if you work for McDonald's, they could steal your copyright. If you work for Burger King, they could steal your copyright. If you work for Walmart, they'll steal your copyright. If you work for any place, they could steal your copyright, because then you've become part of the corporate entity. The corporate worm, the corporate rats. So let me tell you how this is going to end freedom of speech. Apparently, anything you put on your blog may be monitored by your boss. I'm seeing that more and more, and that scares me. Not only can bosses exterminate your freedom of speech, like saying, "Oh, I don't agree with this, you're fired." Not just that, but bosses can actually copyright your content since you're a part of the corporate entity. They could go to the Copyright Office and say that you've signed away your rights. They could do that. You no longer own your stuff. If you do your own stuff, if you take your own pictures, you'll lose it. And people like me will be sued over it. Any blogger on the internet is now liable for a lawsuit. If you post any TSA pet-down photos, TSA pet-down videos that have been appearing on the news, maybe even CNN, I mean, you could be putting it through our report. You know, and that shouldn't certify that you're giving up your rights. You could be putting the news through our report, and they may copyright it and sue you for it. So, in other words, if you post a police brutality video, they can sue you. If you decide to post any video of a politician talking about the New World Order on MSNBC, CNN, or any big media, they'll sue you. They can sue you. And if you decide to post any pictures of the politicians doing the satanic symbol like this, they'll sue you. And if you do anything to get the truth out anymore, they can sue you for copyright infringement, whether you did something right or wrong. Whether you know you did something wrong or not. It doesn't matter. Whether you're trying to bring the truth out or not. It doesn't matter. Copyright laws are going to dictate what we can and cannot put on our blogs. This is the end of free speech. What Right-Haven's doing is the end of free speech. We have to get the truth out before it's too late. It may already be too late, because now they could sue you for anything. And they're going to probably penalize me for making videos talking about the political ties. This is how bad it's going to get. You're going to be shanghaied, you're going to be whipped, and you're going to get it in the, you're going to, yeah, it's like they're going to make you get down on the floor and take your beatings, and take your corporate police state, beatings. I mean, that's what they're going to do to you. They'll probably strip search you and put you through hell. Bloggers have no rights anymore. Bloggers have no rights. I hate to say this, but freedom of speech is no more. Because copyrights is the new weapon against freedom of speech. You need to see what's happening right now. They're going after people, and I don't even think the person who took the TSA photo, Craig F. Walker, agrees with this. But since he's employed by the Denver Post, he can't do anything about it. And if he quits the Denver Post, it still doesn't matter, because they own his copyright. Can you believe it? They own his copyright. So even if he quit the Denver Post, they're still going to sue me over that photo, because They own the copyright. Can you believe that? Corporations own the copyright of hardworking Americans. Hardworking Americans are losing their copyrights to the godforsaken corporations. And that's why I'm being sued as like I'm a godforsaken criminal. It's ridiculous. We have to protest this. We gotta tell the corporations, Righthaven and the stupid judges, to go to hell. Because copyright is the new weapon against the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Copyright is the new weapon. They'll get rid of your freedom of speech too. They'll shut down your blog. They'll shut down everybody's blog. They may even shut down Freedomizer for talking about the case. They're going to go after everybody. Our freedom of speech is over. And corporations are using federal courts to do it. That's why I put that Revolution History video, because I'm not trying to provoke violence or anything. I'm just stating that we need to be peaceful in this. We need to peacefully go outside and tell our government we've had enough. It's time we make another declaration. Declaration of no tyranny! We need a peaceful way to go against tyranny. We need to make a legal declaration suggesting that tyranny is not allowed. We do not want the Department of Homeland Security. We do not want the DHS. And we do not want to be sued for what we post on our blogs. That is not right, that these big corporations that have political ties are suing us over what we can and cannot say. Our freedom of speech cannot be copyrighted. We are the resistance. The answer to 1984 is 1776. Bloggers, you need to stand up. If you own a blog, you need to stand up too before it's too darn late. Before it's too darn late, you need to stand up before it's too late. Before I'm like, oh well, you didn't stand up, it's too late. It's already starting to become too late now, so please, stand up for your rights, your civil liberties. It's your job. We're Americans. We've got to stand up for our country. We need to stand up for the veterans that have worked hard to protect our Constitution. We need to stand up before the police state thugs crack down hard on us, including seizing my domain and giving it to the Department of Homeland Security, or Righthaven.